cocaine. Do the dash, put this bitch in smoke, we leaving everything. You know that my shit be fast, came with extra pedals. I be going crazy and them things rock out like heavy metal. They said that shit get easy in the game, but I can't fuck with needles. Feature steady blowing up my phone, might have to get a beeper. NBA money, selling mustard, deodorant. I'ma point my niggas to the money, but can't hold a hand.
It's just a Civic.
That's the bitch to
We're installing a Mansbrake on this thing.
This that all night special. This set you up to the break of dawn. This that get your fit for cheap Ellis. Ain't reppin' St. Laurent.
The Eagle has landed. It's time to install a Mansbrake V2 on this man's car.
All right, guys, we just got over to Thomas's house. Mr. Thomas right here.
What's up, guys?
He's got his channel called Renegade Racing. It's up there. Go check it out. You're gonna want to, because what I'm about to show you, he has a lot of expensive toys around here. And everything is not like it's supposed to be, and that's what I like about it. So, yeah, that's a Honda Civic. I don't know if you guys really understand what's going on here yet, but yeah, they're not supposed to have meat in the back. And that's because this whole car has a Corvette driveline. And what is this, a 427?
Yeah, it's a dark 427 with LSX GMPP heads on it. The 8-bolt setup, Callie's Dragon Slayer crank, Callie's rods, Wiseco pistons. It's got a custom ground camshaft in it just for what we got. Sounds pretty boss. Twin 76, 78 precision.
And I see you got a lot of plumb work going on right here too from Nitrous Outlet.
Yeah, so Nitrous Outlet really hooked that up. There's a lot of special things on this thing from Nitrous Outlet that are kind of one-off, like the solenoid mounts. They laser machine those for me. There's a guy over there that does all that stuff. His name's
Dude, this
Clifton.
logo is really on point.
Yeah, that's the Civic logo. So
Civic.
Civic Vet. So
yeah,
that's the logo we came up with. They also made the inside paneling as well. If
yeah,
you look at the center console, it houses a Pro Max controller, and they put the Civic emblem with the Nitrous Outlet in there as well.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool.
That is sick.
We just use the Pro Max controller kind of for data logging and you know, seeing what's going on with the system. But Holly controls the nitrous pretty much. This car's got a single stage dry shot on it, and it's a 200 shot. We've got a pretty massive fuel system on the car, so we're not worried about, you know, going lean or anything. So
yeah,
everything's controlled.
This pretty interesting back here.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
so,
this thing is freaking wild, man.
Yeah, we got twin 12-pound bottles back here. That's the carbon fiber bottle from Nitrous Outlet. It's got a quick disconnects on the bottles for easy pulling them out.
I used to have the carbon bottle in my Black Z, had a Black Z06.
Yeah, they're super light, man. It's amazing what they weigh compared to the valve on top.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. But it's got the dual VR Holly pump in it, brushless pump.
Yeah.
So
that thing is sick.
It puts out a lot of fuel pressure, man. And we got up front, it's got Holly 220s in it.
Yeah.
More than enough fuel to do everything we want. But
what fuel is it on?
It's on C120 plus nitrous.
C120 plus nitrous. Sounds rowdy.
It's a methanol car.
Hell yeah, dude. So today, guys, we're going to be installing the Mansbrake V2 because this is a stick shift car. And this car does not have a slipper clutch in it. Do you ever street drive this car ever?
Yeah, we've drove it. It's not, I wouldn't say difficult.
Yeah.
But I mean, with no power steering and people all around you, it kind of scares you. But whenever you come off the clutch, man, this thing is strong. So it don't slip at all. As soon as you
we're gonna try to tame that down.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to tame that down. This thing is fully capable of making 2,000 horsepower, and he's got to put it all on the ground without yeeting the front in the air. Because didn't you say you have to get some stuff welded up?
Yeah,
look, so
we broke the shock tower on the side.
Yeah, you just couldn't leave well enough alone, and you had to go test it before I got here, and now you got some broke shit, and now you got to get that fixed. So we're gonna try to solve this wheelie problem, and then also we're gonna try to get this thing deep in the sevens. We're gonna get started on getting the Mansbrake V2 hooked up. We're gonna find a nice spot to mount this thing real quick, and cause hell, your master cylinder's right down there.
Yeah, that's
gonna be pretty easy. This is the very first prototype. There's not another one out here besides this. I actually took this screen out of my car.
So I got the only one?
You literally had the only one. So guys, I know so many people have been impatient about the Mansbrake V2. These are on order, okay? You know how there's like thousands and thousands of brand new vehicles sitting out on lots, are not on car lots because they can't get the data screens for them and the chips that go inside. There's like a shortage of the stuff they use to make the chips and the computer board in these things. That's why we're having such a tough time getting them. COVID, big fuck you to COVID pretty much. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's kind of made it hard on us, and so I do apologize for that. Hopefully things are gonna turn around soon. I'm just a small guy that has a big dream, and I'm not spending billions of dollars on electronics. I'm spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on electronics. So I get like basically the short end of the stick here.
Hey, yo, Caleb.
Let's go.
We're going to the line shop.
Line shop.
We're going to the line shop. Son,
Going to the line shop.
line, baby.
So large, the machine won't read it. God, I love it. All of my bad bitch, I ain't no average Joe. Screaming, God, I love it. I'ma need a bad bitch, I don't like an average hoe. Screaming, God, I love it. I'm the type you never see in stores, you ain't never seen before. Screaming, God, I love it. Screaming, God.
Butter burger with cheese. What you want on it?
Some Culvers, baby.
Something to say, then bitch fight me. Yo, I ain't finna play games with a motherfucker.
How's it going?
It's going. We went and got our line made, so that easy. And we are working on mounting it right now. So we're gonna mount this one upside down. It's kind of the best configuration for this car. So
It doesn't matter which way it goes?
no, doesn't
Sick.
matter either which way. As long as you get all the air out of it.
When they get started, they never wanna stop shit. If you get retarded, you're gonna get dropped quick. Might leave you heartless, you and your weak ass sidekick. God, I love it. Tell me to breathe, I'ma break your jaw. And I keep them speakers bumping to help me sleep, but I can't cause I'm on my job. Get a money machine for convenience. Pay somebody bitch just to feed it. Time is elsewhere needed. She's screaming it's overheated. Stack so large the machine won't read it. God, I love it. All of my
Alright,
bitch, I ain't no
so
average
the Mansbrake is mounted, sitting right here, looking all beautifully, nice and sleek. We just mounted it straight through to the firewall. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and take the master cylinder, slave cylinder line apart. From the master, it's gonna go to the in port on the Mansbrake, and then from the slave, it's gonna go to the out port on the Mansbrake. So we already have some fittings right there, and that's where they're gonna go. So we're gonna go ahead and hook those up, and then after that, we can get the clutch bled, and then we hook up the electronic part.
Easy.
Easy.
I mean, this has been all of 5-10 minutes
Yeah,
already.
we literally just got back. It's like,
Me and Caleb still eating lunch.
Well, look, that's a real CTR center cluster.
so we took the line from right here, and we moved it to the Mansbrake, and then we just came from here into the Mansbrake. Now the fluid's gonna travel through, get processed to the Mansbrake, and then go back out to the slave. So pretty much that easy. Just disconnect the line, hook it to the Mansbrake, get a new line. That
Easy, just an inline deal.
Yep, just an inline deal. These guys actually already have a remote bleeder, and this car is pretty custom. So the remote bleeder is like literally so easy to get to. We're gonna go ahead and bleed the clutch right now. Normally, if you were bleeding it on the Mansbrake, you would bleed it at the Mansbrake, but since they have one here, we just plugged it. Not a big deal.
Just a little extension to make it easier to get to.
Yeah.
That's the Civic. Getting your little pump in.
Yeah, get a little pump in.
I can hear his calf screaming. He's got a screen in there and everything.
little-
Mountain, so when it engages the clutch,
Run it in and mount this one. This is the part that everybody usually hates, but it's really not that bad because everything's plug and play. So we basically ran our wires through the car and the firewall. This is gonna come with a Mansbrake V2. This is the driver. This is basically powering the solenoid to make it do all its magic. So opening and closing the valve and all that kind of stuff. This is like the brain and the driver. So you can mount this pretty close to wherever you mount the Mansbrake. This time we're gonna mount it probably right here, back here on the firewall. It's pretty simple. All it does is just plug in just like that, and we'll mount it right back there. That'll actually work out really nice. Another cool thing about this is you'll be able to save all your presets and your tunes. So if the track is not hooking right, you can go to a softer leave and it's already preset and saved. So every time that you get like a setting that works on a certain track, certain prep, whatever, or the street, don't matter. If you're like, oh shit, well, that didn't work, you can literally just go hit a different tune and it automatically loads it.
ready to go.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this thing is absolutely phenomenal.
I tried to think of it all, I really did.
You did, man.
I got some guys that have been trying to do some stuff like this, And even though I own the patent to it, you know, like still like you can't beat the big dog at his own game, you know.
That's true. I'm trying to go 7s or bust.
7s or bust, dude. If this thing goes to 7 with a Mansbrake on it, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something crazy.
Hey, we're gonna do cartwheels at the track.
Get stuck to the prep.
Yeah. What's the best 60 foot on the car?
At LS Fest, we did like a 1:35. You know, and that was leaving. I mean, I left pretty smooth, but I let out of it. You know, we were trying to. The biggest thing is we've had a lot of problems in building this car, and we're still kind of working through all the spider webs with it, because with this car, it's one off.
Yeah, now I can see, man.
You know, this is the rear end is what we had so many issues with more than anything. Is kept breaking stuff. The wheels were hitting the fender wells and stuff of that nature. We just one thing after another. And at LS Fest, we finally, after about 3 tries of designing this rear end, we got it right. I mean, this thing, it literally sat down in the pocket. The front wheels came about 2-3 inches off the ground, and it was gone.
And that was the 135?
That was the 135.
Okay, so we're gonna get you to a 125.
And I want to go 118, man.
Dude, I want you to go on to 18 too. I called, that's top and fab, by the way, but I called the owner. I said, hey, send me his number. I was like, that car needs a Mansbrake. And he's like, man, he wants a Mansbrake. I was like, well, there you go.
Hey, and you know what? Jason kept telling me, he's like, man, because every time I'd look at the car, and he's like, oh man, this has got the Mansbrake on it. And I'm like, at that point in time, I didn't even know what a Mansbrake was. I'm like, what in the hell's a Mansbrake? And he's like, well, you know what a slipper clutch is, right? And I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, this is like a slipper clutch, but you ain't got to do anything with the clutch. I'm like, what? And he's like, man, you can just get a regular clutch and turn it into a slipper clutch with this system. I'm like, you're shitting me. And he's like, no, and it's on the go too. And I'm like, no joke. And just like you talked about, adding weights and nuts and washers to a clutch and all that extra time that takes so much time to do it, and then you put all that together and then it still ain't right, and then you got to get back underneath the car. He's like, ain't none of that. He's like, man, you can just adjust this thing, and before you know it, you're going down the track faster than you've ever been before in your life. And I was like, well, why don't I have one yet?
Shoot, well, here we are a few weeks later.
They typically do be kind of hard to get, so
Yeah.
sorry guys. Y'all know one thing about me, I do be screwing up sometimes, so.
Yeah, same here, man. When we get to the track, we got to have a come to Jesus meeting.
So I'm pretty sure me and him are gonna link back up at Top and Fab when my car's done, probably like sometime in the middle of December. And I think we're gonna have like a YouTuber call out type thing.
Absolutely.
So, I think I'm gonna be figuring the car out. So as long as we can get the vet to go down, then I'll pin the wastegate shut.
Oh Lord.
Then hand you your ass whooping, and I'll go back to Louisiana.
Listen, man. Whenever this thumbnail gets put out and it says I got beat by a Civic, man,
Yeah.
I don't.
And whenever it says, like, whenever y'all see a thumbnail that says I got beat by a Honda Civic, y'all will know the deal. Like if y'all
Honda Civic.
Yeah, Honda Civic. Yeah, this totally stock Honda Civic.
And then once that happens, just make sure you check out my page, Renegade Racing. You know, there's probably going to be a link in this somewhere. Just if it's above my head right now.
It's that way.
Hit the link right now.
Yeah.
Just check out my page. Make sure you subscribe. I got this car. We got another car over here. We got a C7 Corvette. We're putting a Coyote in. And, of course, we got the S2000.
Currently trying to buy that, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to let me.
He's trying to pick that up. And we got the S2000. It's the IRS world record holder right now. So
it's the one with all the signatures on it.
Yeah, all the signatures
so
on
if y'all seen that car on 1320 video with all the signatures all over it, that's his car.
Yeah.
And
it's got a big 102 on it. It's got a dual nitrous shot on it. It's pretty rowdy, man.
Everything turbo and nitrous?
Everything turbo, man. And nitrous. I've had supercharged cars before, but I've got nitrous on everything.
Gap insurance.
That's it, man.
Gap insurance.
That's it.
I'm gonna be hitting my scramble button. You're gonna be like, 300 direct port shot. This thing is gonna do a humongous wheel stand.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be back to square one.
It might roll over, you know?
Dude,
Do a quick little backflip.
Just imagine this thing doing a wheel like that big, which it's very capable of, right?
Yeah.
It's already slammed down and broke some shit. So if it does a wheelie that big, this thing really might roll over backwards. It has nothing to catch it to.
Nothing.
It's gonna be propped up on the parachute, just sit on the track. Like. People are gonna like go push it down. All right, I think we're ready to turn this thing on.
All right, let's go ahead and put power on it.
Check it out. So here's your clutch PSI.
All right. That's awesome.
So you'll know kind of like where your sweet spot is.
Right.
Okay, and then also you can use that to trigger things. So in your Holly, if you want to trigger your two-step, whenever your clutch is down, and make it like basically come off when your clutch doesn't have any pressure in it. You just set a parameter and then run a wire to this, and it's just literally like a switch. It's already built in. So that's pretty cool. And then you go to your launch setup. So this is just a random deal I have in there. This is gonna be, this is 0.2, that's 0.5 plus 1 second. So that's gonna be 1.6 seconds long after you release the trans brake. So we don't have any buttons. We forgot to get buttons. The cool thing about the Mansbrake V2 is you're gonna have your button wires here labeled. This is your engage, that's your trans brake button, and this is your DTL. So that stands for drivetrain load. So basically that is your bump box to bump in. It also has your power supply right here with it. You don't have to go looking in your car to find your power supply. It's already right there. Let's get some crimpers real quick.
Right.
And
we should have some over there in the
strippers.
passenger seat.
Since we don't have a button, we're just gonna do old redneck test real quick. Make sure everything's working right. Dude, check out the screen.
That's sick. That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the custom engraving and everything. It's really good.
All right.
Yeah, with all these screens and gauges in here, man, it's gonna look like I got a spaceship.
We got a Tesla now.
You're in the back window, NASA, boy.
Engaged. You heard it drop the, drop the slave.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm just giving y'all basically a feel for what it's gonna be able to do. Since we don't have buttons right now, I'm basically mimicking the button. So y'all bear with me. So just imagine that's engaging your trans brake, okay?
Gotcha.
So the car's not going anywhere. And then, it's not a button, but basically you could bump this, and as you're bumping it, it's going to sit there and just like let the car come into the light. So if you have a setting that you like, hit this button right here. That'd be the street tune. You can select it. Say you have, this one's called the track tune. We can select that. Hit load to launch, and then you can go back to your launch setup, and now that's the one that's in it. Just imagine, we'll do that again, so that's a whole different setup. And that is barely actuating your slave.
Gotcha.
So, runs through your count, it's disengaged.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Damn, this is badass, man. I can't wait to try it.
Good Lord, I can't wait to go down the track in this thing. Especially once we get together and we're able to set this thing up together, run both cars, you know, and really get this thing where it's heated and down the track and lined up. Imagine what we're going to be able to do at the racetrack.
Or how many people are going to be like thinking it's an automatic car, but it ain't. They're like, man, what the fuck?
I hate that we can't just go right now.
I know it.
Is the back tires off the ground?
Yep.
I want to try something real quick. Can we start it up?
Yeah.
Here should be good.
Yep, so to start, let's make sure it ain't in gear. There's your start button right up here.
I guess when you won't get on the ground.
No, because if he lets off of that, it's gonna shoot forward and then they got no shock on it. It's gonna take everything.
So we're gonna put it on the ground.
Guys, you're gonna have to come back. I'm sorry we didn't get a test in today. At least you got to see the functionality of it. You got to see a real world device in a car. And this car is going to PRI. We're trying to make Next Shift big. He's going to be in the Red Horse
Performance booth. So the car will be wrapped, so it'll be kind of a couple different colors. We won't have the hood on the car, so and then everything will be painted in it. So it'll be beautiful while it's sitting up there. Once we get done with PRI, we're gonna go back down the top end, button up the things that we need to button up, get on the rollers, and then meet you at the racetrack.
Hell yeah. That sounds like a plan, Stan. So, if y'all like this video, make sure you drop a like. Go check out your boy here, because he deserves it.
Appreciate that.
And this thing is going to be a rocket ship, and it's going to be the first one to have a Mansbrake V2 on it. So, until next time.
This my demeanor, even when I'm off tequila. Your girl is a Meg Griffin, my girl is a Mila. Let's get animated, Jolly Rancher, Fanta faded. Drinks in the cabana, very strawberry, banana flavored. Go get your money, girl, gender roles are antiquated.